Hey everybody, Isaac here. We are looking at a tabletop look here at the Almar 4-inch honey jig bone lock back knife. This model is also known as the Eagle. And before we take a look at the knife, I just want to show you this nice leather slip that it comes in. It's not stain proof, as you can see. Got wet in the rain, I guess, but got a nice Almar stamped logo here. Seems to be stitched well. And this is the only knife slip for folding knives that I have. And I'm impressed with the quality. So, if you are a knife slip fan, let me know what you think here. I see a lot of handmade ones out and about on different channels. But this one, definitely serves its purpose. So let's check out the knife. This model was introduced in 1979 by Almar in his very first catalog. The original ones had a yellow Westinghouse micarta scale here. The Jigged Bone came later, as well as some different micarta, as well as variations to the knife in ultralight versions, as well as heavy-duty versions. But this is one nice blade. Let's get a closer look here. Centering is pretty spot on. I have no major fit and finish issues with this knife. The gaps, or lack thereof, I should say, it seems to be pretty tight fitting. I know a lot of people complain about case knives and gaps with the brass liners and handle scales. Let me make sure that kind of focuses there. You might call it a little bit right here, but I've seen worse. Now, this is the newer Almar, manufactured in China from 79 to 2018. They were made in Seki, Japan, and cost a pretty penny. But their fit and finish is said to be immaculate. I do not own one of these models made in Japan. They'll run you about $200 or more if you're looking for one of the Seki models. This version here costs around $65 on Amazon. You can find these at quite a few other dealers there as well. There's the Almar name and logo. Now, historically, this knife had a couple different blade shapes as well. Originally, it was a full flat grind with a nail nick. Later, it became this talon blade, as Almar would call it, and thumb studs were added. I believe they've been made in a couple of different steels. This is Os 8. A lot of the older Japan-made models were Os 8 as well. The original steel is called RS30, which was a precursor to VG10. And I believe there are some other Eagle models in VG10 as well. So it's pretty popular steel to be seen in Seki, Japan made knives. I did mention earlier about the handle scales. Honey Jigged Bone is one of the kind of vintage handle scale materials, and this is bone. It's not plastic or anything. And guys, this knife it's just nice. Real nice utility blade. It was one of the kind of original tactical folders that was favored by people in the business. People who were special forces ops. operators, and those type of people, clandestine workers. This was tactical folding knife of late 70s, early 80s, as attested by James Morgan Ayres, author of The Tactical Knife, who was a Green Beret, early 1960s. Maybe he even knew Almar, who was also a Green Beret. Of course, the tactical knife has evolved, but this Eagle, you got a classy looking blade, so it's not threatening looking, but you got a 4-inch, very pointy blade with a nice cutting edge. I scratched my bolster up there a bit, so it's not as pretty anymore. But this knife serves its purpose well as a general utility blade, outdoors blade. I bet it would make a heck of a fish filleter. Now, if a 4-inch blade is a bit long for your preference, this design does come in shorter blade lengths. Okay? It's part of a series of knives created by Almar, known as the Birds of Prey series. There were quite a few over the years. There was the Eagle, the Falcon, the Hawk, the Buzzard, the Vulture, and the Osprey. Osprey is really teeny tiny. But this is the largest, the Eagle, with the 4-inch blade. So hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at this. We'll bring the slip back in. As I mentioned, it is available on Amazon, pretty much anywhere knives are sold. Let me give you a quick size comparison here next to the Buck 110, just so you have that as a point of reference. And we'll see you on the next video.